Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Good to see everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. It is Punchki Day. Happy Punchki Day, everybody. Woo, woo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying it right. So, good morning, Sherry Ladd. Hey, John Wells. Great to see you. Glad you are here. Good morning, Irene. Robin, we need a picture of a Ponchki if you can come up with. I don't know if you can post one in the chat or not. I don't think it lets you post pictures. No. Oh. So, uh, hello, hello. How are you, Jamie? Good. Hope you're good. Good morning, everybody. Glad you are finding your way on. Good morning, Bob Guinan. Hello, hello. How good to see everybody back for another week of 11:11. It is exciting. And it's a big week. It's a big week in churchy world here. Different churches do different things with it, but today is Mardi Gras, Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Day. Who doesn't love Pancake Day? Pancake Day, or otherwise known as the last great festival before Lent, Fat Tuesday. Morning, Sharon. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. And that is why it is Punchki Day. I may be saying that right. And so I hope everybody's doing well and that it is you survived Valentine's with some modicum of joy. That we had an after church blessing here, and it was just terrific. It was really lovely. There was our minister of music did a great job. It was really just it was really a chance for couples to recommit to each other, and it was just lovely. So that was our marking of Valentine's, and so here we are on Fat Tuesday. So welcome everybody. It is Tuesday, the 16th day of February at 11:11, and I am glad you are with us. As I was saying as we were coming in, and everybody's coming. Hey Deb, great, glad you're here. And everybody's coming in. This is what is known in the liturgical churches, in the Catholic Church, in the Episcopal Church, the Lutheran Church. Some of the Methodists do it. We Congregationalists notice it on some level or another. Some have, but that's not, you never really know because each congregational assembly kind of holds its worships in its own way, and so many will mark this day as Pancake Day. And as Shrove Tuesday, as Mardi Gras Day, as Fat Tuesday, and which is only makes sense when we look to tomorrow, which is Ash Wednesday. So we'll talk about Ash Wednesday tomorrow, but today I want to talk about Mardi Gras because I want to talk about and I'm going to talk about these 2 days as the way they couple each other as this old tradition of the Christian church, and it's very liturgical and it's very locked in many of the rites and sacraments of the wider liturgical church. It's not one of the super old traditions like Lent. Super old. So Lent is like there's Lent, there's Easter, there's Candlemas. Christmas was not nearly as old as all of these. Lent and Easter are, we find, really early on in the Christian church. And there's something about this coming through and into this approach to Easter that brings us, that just harkens in us this kind of like, there's something about this, the brightness of the light that just causes us to look away a little bit, that causes us to understand that we're not all that we could be, or we're not all that we thought we would be. We are, as the ancients would often say, wretched sinners. And we understand that there's a delta between how we are and how we might be. Doesn't mean Jesus doesn't love us, doesn't mean we're not going to heaven, doesn't mean, in fact, quite the opposite. But the recognition of that delta is this coming up against this Lenten time. Carnival, which is what this is about celebrating, is actually the word carnival means goodbye to meat. It is a festival of saying bye bye meat, because the idea is that you would fast throughout the next or abstain from meat throughout the next 40 days. So carnival, we think about it as this kind of rockin' time down in Brazil, or maybe in New Orleans, but it's this goodbye to meat. I mean, think about that. Goodbye to the flesh. It is this willingness to enter into the alternating states of being, and which is really what I want to talk about today. Is today's title is Laissez le bon temps brûler, which is the Cajun cry that you'll only hear it really either outside of popular culture. You'll only hear it in New Orleans, which in New Orleans has claims the oldest Mardi Gras carnival in the Americas. They had a celebration in 1699 on Point Mardi Gras. It got named that, and the guys that touched down there, that they had a little celebration as they and it began that grand tradition of Mardi Gras, which would come over New Orleans. And if you've never seen any of the videos or any of that, go spend a little time on YouTube. The party is extravagant, and it is fun, and it is neat, and it is a day to eat our pancakes, as Matthew reminds us. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Linda. So what are we on about? The whole idea of enjoying life, the whole idea of, why do we eat our pancakes? The eating of the pancakes was a way to clean out the larder. It was a way to clean out the fridge of all the things that you would be abstaining from the next day. So what goes into pancakes? Milk, butter, and eggs. So that it was a way of getting rid of those meat products that you would be abstaining from in the next 40 days. So the pancake festival is this enjoying of the moment of the abundance of all the things, knowing that you're willingly going into the lack of things. And the alternating states that this sets up in us. Now, this is kind of an artificial way that we do this. We set it on the calendar and we make these choices of self-discipline. But the wider reality of our being, I mean, it starts right at the beginning of Bible. It starts right at the beginning of the New Testament. I mean, here the beginning of the Gospel of John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made, and without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. If we look to the creation story, we begin with the beginning of light and the understanding that there was darkness prior to light. That this foundational idea that we might have in us, this alternating state. And I know, like, this does not sound radical because we are caught up in this all the time. And I say it is so radical to map out and to stand in and to think about consciously because we do stand in it all the time. Because it is such a huge part. We alternate states all the time. You get in your car and you drive down the road and maybe you're having a good day, and then somebody cuts you off and you're like, and all of a sudden you've just gone from a state of, yeah, it's gonna be a good day, things are blissful, like, to something happening, and now you're in an alternate state. You're other than you were. We do that. It is the fabric of humanity. It's the sea on which we captain our ship. Some days we'll be at the top of the wave. Some days we're at the bottom of the wave. Mahmoud, good morning to you, my brother. Good to see you. Vicky, so glad you're here. That we end up riding these waves of being, the highs and lows of our being, and we think that, well, this is just, we need to just not, kind of somehow we need to just blow through the middle of the waves. Like, that's the real safe kind of part of the journey, is that if we just kind of get something that we don't take the highs too seriously, don't let ourselves get too excited about any one thing, because that would just be unseemly. And then so too, we also in the descent into our darkness, we don't let that get too heavy. Just stiff upper lip, all that sort of thing. Just kind of gird your loins for that which is we have to endure, and just tough it out. What's the reality of this day? Laissez la bon temps rouler, which means let the good times roll. Friends, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Where we find light, let the light shine. Where we find joy, let the joy shine. Knowing there will be a cutoff tomorrow. Knowing that that we will not have pancakes for dinner every night. Knowing that there is that the beauty and the joy and the wonder of what it is to be alive, and the goodness and the sweetness of the moments, that we clip the tops off of them all the time, because we just don't want the deep descent. We just don't, but the reality is all of life is in this laissez la bon temps rouler, and are corresponded with tomorrow, what we'll talk about. From dust you were made, and to dust you shall return. There's an old Hasidic story of a guy who says every human being should wear an overcoat, and in that overcoat there'll be two pockets. In one pocket is a note that says, "The world and the universe was made for you," and the other pocket is, "You are dust, and you will return to dust." And that we should wear those, and we should wear those with them right between us, so that we live between these two realities constantly and always. And we're not. And some of us in life will be more freaked out about Mardi Gras days, like about the days where we eat all the pancakes. Some of us will not be able to embrace that. We just will always be looking around the corner, going, "Yeah, but the fall's coming." And that for our job it is to let go and let God fill our being with the laissez la bon temps rouler, let the good times roll, let them go through our lives, let them flow. And then for some of us, we will so cling to the staying out of our shadow, staying out of our worry, staying out of the hard things of our life, that we'll seek to numb everything else out. We'll ever and always avert our eyes from the darkness of our being. We want to look at the fact that we've only got so many days in this life. You've only got so many days. I've only got so many days. that and until the good Lord calls us home. What will we do with these days? And that's what this little holiday that I think is, it's so set. If you look at in the big calendar of things, it's between, what did we just have a couple of weeks ago? We had Candlemas, right? We had this birth of the light. The light shows up and the blessing of the light. And we bless the light, and a couple of weeks later, what do we run into? Darkness. We run into from dust I was created, and dust I shall return. But just before that, we enjoy and relish in the light. We eat all the paczkis today. Eat them all. If you can get your hands on paczkis, eat them. Like that we enjoy and relish, and that is not to give way to the sins of gluttony and all those sorts of things. It is to open ourselves to the pinnacle of joy that God would call us to open ourselves to joy. And if we can open ourselves to lower joys, maybe we can open ourselves to higher joys. It is this opening ourselves to and knowing that we exist, that we're doing it on the edge of a cliff, knowing that we're doing it on the edge of a precipice, knowing that the light came into the world and the darkness has not overcome it, but the darkness hasn't gone away. The darkness hasn't gone away. And that we'll encounter it tomorrow. But today, let us laissez la bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. So I want to invite you to eat your pancakes today, eat your paczkis, eat the delicious things of your life. Have your carnival, have your goodbye to meat, goodbye to some of the sweetness of these days, because when we ritualize this, because this is about the nature of truth, and I'll try to land us here, because the whole thing is about the wider nature of truth. You see, I can look outside. Today's raining outside, which I'm feeling very grateful for, because this could be 2 feet of snow. So we're getting rain where we are, and it's cold. It's 40 something degrees, and it's not wonderful, but I'm grateful for the rain. But I can stand in here in my office, nice and warm and toasty, and look out there and say, oh, it's raining out there. And then I can go out and I can walk outside and I can let the cold seep into me, and I can feel the rain on my face. That if we really want to encounter truth in this life, we want to really encounter what's really real, if we really want to encounter the logos, what we have to do is act that out. And that's the most base example of me kind of going outside to experience the rain. But it's true on every level of being, that if we really want to know what is true, if we really want to encounter the logos, if we really want the actual truth, or maybe not even if we really want it, we will. Maybe that's a better way to talk about it, is that we will encounter the Word, that in the beginning was the Word, and in the beginning was with God, and the Word was God. That's at the heart of this whole journey. That what was true before the first blade of grass got made. What was true before you and I and every person you've ever met came into being. All of it was true prior to us. And the encountering of these truths is not something that we think about, like, oh, well, that's, get our pipe out and like, well, that's very true. I find you very accurate. Now, do you concur, doctor? Yeah, I concur. It's not that. It's that we have the experience of it because we act it out. The greatest truths of our life we act out. That's the only way we as people encounter what is true. Why do we talk about the story of this Jesus guy that goes to the cross and it dies and is resurrected in 3 days? Because he acts out what every second and every minute and every piece of life that you and I are ever going to have, what they're going to be. There's a part of us that's going to be dying. There's a part of us that's going to be brought to life, and that we are in constant state of regeneration and resurrection. That's the truth of what is, and we're acting it out. We're not thinking about it. We're not even feeling it. We're suspended in this, and that this beautiful little sense of Mardi Gras, of this high party day of laissez la bon temps brûler, of letting the good times roll, anchored and placed precisely next to when we will encounter our own ashes and we will encounter our own dust. We act that out because it's the truth of our being. It's the truth of our being. I want to The great Mary Oliver gives us 3 instructions for living. She's a poet, and she just does this lovely job. But she says this. She says there are 3 things. Pay attention, be astonished, and tell about it. Pay attention to the good times rolling in your life. Be astonished by both the depths of grief and the things that you love slipping away and being difficult, and also the wonders and the beauties of the laissez la bon temps brûler. And in it all, tell about it. Tell your stories to one another. Tell of your joys. Tell of your sorrows. Tell of all that is in between. And that in our telling of it, we wed ourselves. We become a part of the grand story of the light that has come into the world, but the darkness has not overcome it. Because that story isn't just Jesus' story. It's yours and mine too. It's yours and mine too. All right, friends, that's my hope for you today. I do want to ask for your prayers today. We just found out that one of our dear ones here at FCC, Beverly Freitas, had a cardiac event yesterday, and she is at Charlton right now, getting cardiac catheterization, which is good news if that was what was needed to happen, and that's so. We are thankful for that. I've been able to talk with her sister, but I have not been able to talk with her or visit with her. So just pray for her. Our dear one, Beverly. Beverly is a sweetheart, and she is a rock solid supporter of many of our missions efforts, and does all kinds of great stuff. But and also probably has the single best laugh in the church. Like Beverly is a dear to us. So if you would, I invite you to pray for Bev today in your journeying, so that she might be well and whole and good. All right, friends, thank you, and have a great day today. And laissez la bon temps brûler. Let the good times roll. Peace and grace, friends.